There is always the version of a crisis that the public sees. And then there is the version that lives behind closed doors. In Savannah Guthrie's case, the public version has been polished by studio lights and steady voices. Viewers have watched her stand before cameras with composure, delivering careful words in the right order, thanking the public, asking for privacy, expressing hope. It looks like strength. It sounds like grace under pressure. People have shared clips online and praised her courage. But what most have seen is only the surface. Beneath the press statements and controlled expressions is a woman carrying something far heavier than the headlines suggest. The real story is not just about a frightening disappearance. It is about a daughter navigating fear, memory, expectation, and love, while the entire country studies her face for cracks that never seem to show. A life built by discipline and determination. At 54 years old, Savannah Guthrie had reached a chapter of life many people spend decades working toward. She built one of the most respected careers in American broadcast journalism, becoming a trusted presence in millions of homes. She endured industry shifts, professional challenges, and the daily intensity that comes with anchoring a major morning show. At the same time, she raised her children and balanced motherhood with extraordinary professional demands. By any measure, she had arrived. 54 is often an age of steadiness, when the proving years begin to quiet and the rewards begin to settle in. She had earned her place. She had earned the respect. From the outside, it appeared she was standing on solid ground, supported by experience and accomplishment. And then, in a single weekend, that ground shifted in a way no preparation could soften. When everything changed. In early February 2026, news broke that Savannah's 84-year-old mother, Nancy Guthrie, had gone missing from her home in Tucson. The announcement transformed a private family emergency into a national story almost instantly. The word kidnapping began circulating, attaching itself to a name connected to someone millions trusted and admired. For Savannah, life split into two tracks at once. There was the public track, where she needed to remain composed, measured, and careful because the investigation was active and the spotlight intense. And then there was the private track, where she was simply a daughter facing the unimaginable uncertainty of not knowing where her mother was or when she might return. Every appearance required focus. Every word mattered. And behind each statement was a daughter trying to steady her own heartbeat. The weight of time and health. One of the most painful elements of the situation was Nancy's age and health. At 84, she relied on daily heart medication. That detail alone carried a heavy emotional burden. When someone you love depends on routine medical care, every hour of uncertainty feels magnified. Savannah understood that reality immediately. Even as she addressed the public with calm clarity, she carried the awareness that time mattered deeply. It was not simply about headlines or investigations. It was about her mother's comfort and well-being. That knowledge sits differently than general worry. It creates a steady, quiet urgency that does not fight between phone calls or meetings. Yet she continued to appear thoughtful and composed. The world saw professionalism. What they did not see was the constant mental calculation of hours passing, the silent prayers woven between public statements. Strength that began in childhood. Savannah did not arrive at this crisis unshaped. She was raised by a mother who believed deeply in resilience. After losing her husband, Nancy raised her children with a philosophy centered on self-reliance and composure. The message was clear: meet hardship with steadiness. Handle what needs to be handled. Keep moving. Over time, that message becomes more than advice. It becomes instinct. For Savannah, composure was not an act she learned for television. It was something rooted far earlier in her life. So when crisis came, she did what she had always done. She organized her thoughts. She spoke carefully. She focused on what needed to happen next. To viewers, it looked like remarkable grace. In reality, it was also deeply ingrained survival training. the kind built over decades of wanting to honor the standards set by someone you love. The private battle beneath the public one. While investigators worked and headlines circulated, another battle unfolded quietly within Savannah herself. Public crises demand clarity, but private pain does not follow a script. There were moments between statements when she was not an anchor or a public figure. She was a daughter and a mother of young children who needed reassurance of their own. The emotional layering is complex. You worry upward for your parent and downward for your children at the same time. You become the bridge between generations, steady for both ends. That responsibility can feel isolating, even when you are surrounded by supportive friends and colleagues. Strength, when practiced for years, becomes automatic. But automatic strength can also make it difficult to fully lean on others. The instinct to hold everything together does not switch off simply because you wish it would. Love expressed through expectation. Nancy's love shaped Savannah's life profoundly. It was strong, intentional, and focused on preparing her daughter for a demanding world. But love expressed primarily through high standards can create a quiet internal question that lingers for years. Am I enough? Achievements, applause, and professional milestones do not always answer that question completely. They help, certainly. They affirm competence. Yet deep inside, many children still seek something simpler. Reassurance not tied to performance. In moments of crisis, that longing can surface with unexpected intensity. Savannah's composure reflects her mother's influence, but it may also reflect a lifelong desire to meet expectations perfectly, especially when it matters most. That dynamic does not diminish the love between them. It simply reveals how layered love can be when it is intertwined with strength and discipline. The silence between appearances, public statements show only fragments of a person's experience. Between them lie long stretches of waiting, hoping, and processing. Those are the hours the public never witnesses. In those quiet spaces, emotions are rarely as structured as they appear on screen. There are conversations with family members, moments of exhaustion, and perhaps times when composure softens into vulnerability. No camera records those details, and perhaps that is as it should be. Yet it is important to remember they exist. No one maintains perfect steadiness without cost. The strength admired by viewers is real, but so is the human fatigue beneath it. When a crisis lingers, uncertainty becomes its own emotional weight. It stretches days longer than expected. It asks patience from people who are already giving everything they have. A mother and daughter story, at its core beyond investigations and headlines, this remains at its heart a mother-daughter story. For 54 years, Nancy and Savannah shared conversations, disagreements, encouragement, and quiet understanding that no one else fully shares. When someone central to your life is suddenly absent, it feels as if part of your internal compass disappears with them. You do not just miss their presence. You miss their voice, their advice, their familiar rhythm. That absence amplifies every memory. It brings childhood scenes rushing forward alongside present fears. For Savannah, the question is not only about safety, it is also about connection, about hearing again the voice that shaped her earliest beliefs about resilience and worth. That emotional layer does not show in news updates, but it may be the most powerful of all. The hope that carries everything forward. In moments like this, hope becomes both fragile and essential. It is the thread holding together long days and restless nights. For Savannah, hope likely carries many forms. Hope for her mother's safe return, hope for clarity, hope for comfort for her children, and perhaps hope for a conversation that affirms something simple and unconditional. Public strength does not eliminate private longing. If anything, it can deepen it. The greatest gift in situations like this is not praise for composure, but space for tenderness. Space for words that do not depend on performance or perfection. Because beneath every professional role is a human being who once stood in a kitchen as a child, wanting to be seen and cherished without condition. And sometimes, in the quiet after crisis, those are the words that matter most. You are loved. You are enough.